So if you've been looking for a house in DC and you're tired of seeing the same old traditional row houses everywhere, now don't get me wrong. We love our DC row houses. But if you've been looking for something that's a little bit different with an aesthetic and a layout that you typically don't find in DC homes, and to top that off with off-street garage parking and some yard space, you definitely want to stick around because I think you probably just found that home. So if you're watching this video, I assume that's most likely because you're interested in DC area real estate, whether that be buying or selling a home in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. My name is Bashir, and I have the privilege of helping individuals and families buy and sell homes in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you have any plans of doing that anytime soon and you want to work with a professional who has a great understanding of DC area neighborhoods, cities, and towns, you can feel free to reach out to me. All my contact details are below in the description. So where are we today? We're in the neighborhood of Woodridge in Northeast, really quiet neighborhood. And this is one of those neighborhoods that give you that unique suburban feel while still being very central in DC. We're right off New York Avenue, and you can be in downtown DC in minutes. And you could also be in Virginia in minutes by hopping on the 395 highway. If you go on the other direction on New York Avenue, that's going to take you towards the US 50 highway. You can also be in Baltimore and Annapolis in roughly about 45 minutes, give or take. So this home we're going to be looking at is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 3-level, 3,000 square foot Colonial that sits on a 5,000 square foot lot. Now, let me give you a little bit of sale history about this home. This house was built in 1997 and it was listed for sale in 2011 for the first time ever at $480,000. And can you believe the house did not sell? It sat on the market for a few months and it didn't sell. And 2011, that was the time where the real estate market was in the dumpster. I mean, nothing was moving on the market. So I'm not shocked that, the house didn't sell in 2011. Fast forward 7 years later in 2018, the home sold at $710,000. And then in 2020, it sold for $840,000. And now in 2025, 5 years later, it's being listed for $950,000. So let's go inside and take a look at what we have here for $950,000. So let me just walk around to give you the full view of the home here. This is the home we're going to be looking at. And if you look across the street, what really caught my attention, my eyes always catch things. There's some vacant land here. I wonder if that land can be built on. If you look across the street, these homes are probably homes that were built in the early 1900s, and all these homes right here were built around the same time in 1997. So let's go in and take a look. So you have these stone pavers that lead you right up to the front door, and a nice tree in the front yard to give you some shade. Okay, so as you can tell from the exterior, this is not your typical DC home. This is like, a rare find in DC. So right as we walk in, I'm a huge fan of these darker colored hardwood floors. Love the aesthetic of it. It makes the house feel a lot more homey, in my opinion. So we walk in, and this is our entire first level. I love these pillars right here that lead us down to our living room. There's this slight step here. These pillars just give the home some character. I love the windows as well. These blinds are probably covering it so you can't see, but love these nice oval windows. Okay, so this would be the living area, right? It's nice and cozy, not the largest living room, right? This is our front area. We got a little bit of squeaking in the floors, but hey, it's an older home and that's what happens. Over here, we've got our dining room. which is somewhat secluded from our kitchen because we have this wall that separates the dining and the kitchen area. So even though I would consider this an open concept home, right? But it's not so open that your kitchen abuts into your living room, which I think is nice, a little bit of separation, because everything these days is completely blown open and we don't have any sort of separation. So I actually like this separation right here. Over here, we just have our 2-car garage. This looks more like a 1-car to me. We have, of course, a driveway for a 2nd car, so. Okay, let's check it out. Let's take a look at what we got here first. So we have our powder room, and also this would be our coat closet. Okay, so it's our kitchen with a nice window above the sink. Got the center island with a nice light fixture right above. And over here we have a sort of like a secondary dining spot. And directly across here we have our fireplace, and we have sort of a secondary smaller living area, right? More like a sitting area. We got a butler's pantry right here for additional storage, right? Gas fireplace. What would have been nice is if they had some sort of, I guess, under lighting right here, because there are no lights right above here. So if I bought this home, I would just, install some nice under lighting to give you some light so you can maneuver. Because the only light we have is this one and that one. Okay, so let's look over here for a sec. This is our nice and cozy sitting area, and what I really love is we have this screen-in porch out back, which has 2 doors, which you could access the area. So let's check it out. Okay. So this was actually, when I was doing my research on this home, this entire porch right here was actually the owners added this on years after they bought the house, which I think is a great value add, and this really gives the home a great deal of, it basically it's a value add to the property, right? Nice screened-in porch, keep those bugs out. And then here we have our yard. Okay. So not the largest yard, but how much yard space do we really need? If we're being honest, I think this would do. We have a side door outside that takes us right to the front. Okay, can't get that open, but takes us all the way up to the front. And as you can see, they've put these lattice panels right here to prevent any unwanted species from, going under there and setting up shop. Okay. So let's head down to the basement before we head upstairs. See what we've got going on. Wow, so these ceilings in this basement are actually pretty high. Okay. So this basement isn't staged, but I can just use my imagination. You can probably have the TV set up right there, have a couch over here. Could make that like a work area or something. Probably even fit a pool table or something like that. Storage space. This is our laundry room. We've got a full bathroom down here. Utility closet. That's just the extension of this utility closet. And over here, we just have our sump pump. Okay. So I like the fact that we have 3 windows in this basement to give us light, so it doesn't feel completely isolated, you know, and dark. Okay, let's head up to the 3rd level. All right, as we head up, we got this nice chandelier in the stairwell. And all of bedrooms are on this 3rd level, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's start off with the bathroom. Okay. I actually like this tile. You don't see these in homes too often these days. Linen closet. Again, we have the continuation of these dark cherry hardwood floors, which are my favorite type of hardwood floors. Nice and bright. Pretty good size. And if we look out through this window, this is the front of the home. And you can get a good view of the roof. So you can tell it's a newer roof. Which is a plus, because when you're buying a house, 2 most expensive things, or where you tend to see most of the issues: roofs, basements. Basements, you know, when you have water issues, that's where the water tends to accumulate in the basement. So those are the things that, you know, get people apprehensive about homes on the home inspection. Does the roof need to be replaced? What's the condition? And is there any water issues in the basement? Okay, final bedroom, which is the main room. So you see here, they have these cathedral ceilings that give the ceiling a lot of height. Okay, so this appears to be a king-size bed. So pretty wide bedroom here, because you have space for this work area, you have space for these nightstands. And of course, it comes with its own bathroom, and also you've got a walk-in closet right here. Okay. Got a window also for some light. All right, so we've got the jetted tub, and we also have a standing shower. Okay. With the nice tile that goes all around. Okay, I like this. Okay, so let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this home. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, you could always feel free to reach out to me. All my contact details are down below in the description. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next neighborhood.